and welcome to the very first episode of Racing for the Climate and the first round of the RCCO World EX Championship. Now, World EX combines the excitement of virtual racing with one clear mission: to support the fight against climate change. Some of the world's best professional racing drivers from both motorsport and esports will be handling the most powerful virtual electric racing cars in the world in their quest for the World Championship title. World EX is here not just to provide some of the best virtual racing that you'll see, but to also raise awareness for one of the biggest challenges the world is facing right now, the climate crisis. Every single lap our drivers race around the virtual tracks will increase our climate jackpot total. And then at the end of the series, the world champion of World EX will get to decide the climate conservation project that the entire jackpot will be donated to. Today, the gadget of the month and the prize that is up for grabs is the Bio Hybrid. Now, this stunning new four-wheel pedelec will be on sale later this year, and it's worth €10,000, so it could be yours. But do remember to donate and use the hashtag Racing for the Climate. Now, at the end of the show, it will be decided if the race winner or one of our viewers will get the chance to win the Bio Hybrid. But we're not going to make it an easy ride for them, because they will have to answer 3 questions correctly to win. Now, on to the racing. The cars on track today are the EX0, the world's fastest virtual electric racing car. Now, only experienced real and virtual racing drivers will be able to extract the maximum out of these powerful yet still sustainable cars with a top speed of up to 384 kilometers an hour. They have a full carbon chassis with a twin motor layout. They can go from 0 to 100 kilometers an hour in 2.3 seconds, and the liveries have been designed by the teams themselves. Now, this car belongs to IndyCar and former Formula One driver and also founder of World EX team R8G Esports. It is, of course, Romain Grosjean's car, and well, after a rather eventful year last year, he's very happy to be back racing this year.
November the 29th, 2020, a day Romain Grosjean, his wife Marion, his children, his fans, and the whole racing scene will probably never forget. The Bahrain Grand Prix was supposed to be Romain Grosjean's second last Formula One race for the Haas team. It became his last one when the Frenchman hit the barriers at high speed on the opening lap, his car exploding on impact and breaking in half. Grosjean miraculously emerged from the flames after several seconds with just minor injuries.
Yeah, it was the most shocking and violent accident I have seen in a long time, or maybe in my life. So happy and pleased that he's okay and he got out of it, with only small injuries.
Whoever may have thought Grosjean would quit racing was proven wrong. The Frenchman will compete in IndyCar in 2021 for Dale Coyne Racing.
It's a brand new chapter for me. I'm super excited about it.
In Formula One, Grosjean achieved 10 podiums racing for Renault, Lotus, and Haas. And now he is also targeting podiums and wins in World EX.
We will do our best, give our best, and hoping to really achieve something that is good and give some hard time to the others.
But Grosjean joined the all-electric series also for another reason.
Racing for the climate is something that I really take seriously.
Grosjean is driving an all-electric Jaguar I-Pace in his daily life. He is offsetting CO2 and doing a lot of things, which should give him a good sustainability level in World EX.
Well, Romain Grosjean, welcome. Brilliant to have you here, and great to see you back in a race seat. How are you doing?
Yeah, I'm doing very well, thank you, and enjoying being back. Obviously, driving cars, simulators, the first thing I could drive back after my accident last year, but also I've done a couple of days testing an IndyCar, and it feels great to be back behind the wheel.
Oh, I bet it does. Well, it's good to see you where you belong. Talk to us, though, about why you have joined World EX, because, I think you were one of the first teams to join the championship.
Yeah, I believe we were one of the first, if not the first team to join the World EX Championship, and I'm very proud of that. Shows that, I think the whole World EX team, including Mike, have been doing a great job trying to get as professional as they could, bringing sim racing to another level. And that's really something we want to do with RAG Esports, be part of the events that are top level events, as close as we can get from real life, making it as professional as we can be. And very new, modern way of racing, but I think we're going to have a lot of fun.
Yeah, absolutely. That's what we're here to do. Have fun. But also, of course, the key sort of core component of this championship is sustainability. And we're talking about it a lot during the course of the show. Why is it important to you?
I think sustainability is important for all of us. I think as much as we can do everywhere, we need to try to reduce our footprint, carbon footprint. And, in that aspect, I'm very proud that we have Predator, which is an Acer family, gaming brand of Acer, with us as a main sponsor. And they've been part of the top 100 most sustainable company. They've got the idea of reducing their footprint by 80% towards 2050. It's in their culture, and that's something I share with them, and I share with World EX. And obviously, as much as we can do that by a small step here and there, it would help the whole world. So I think this is key for all of us.
Yeah, well, it's brilliant to see. I've also got to ask you, really what you're most looking forward to being part of World EX, and what you think of the racing format, because it's quite different, isn't it? You're going head to head with one other racing driver during qualifying and in the race. How do you think you're going to fare?
Yeah, I think World EX has got a brand new format, and you get a lot of adrenaline pumping before the start. It's one lap against another driver, no mistake allowed. You can't recover from that, and then the final being a little bit longer, but you go through the steps of the ladder, and I think it's just a new way of racing, and I think it's just going to be great.
Yeah, we're looking forward to see that adrenaline pump. But before you go anywhere, Romain, we do actually have a special message from the co-founder of RCCO World EX. It is, of course, Mike Rockenfeller. Let's hear what he's got to say.
Hello everybody, unfortunately I can't be with you in Silverstone for the first round of World EX. As you can see, I'm in Vallelunga testing DTM to get ready for this year's season. I'm very excited about the grid and the teams we have, especially you, Romain. You were the first one with your team to commit to our championship, and we are all very happy to see you, especially after your violent accident you had last year in Formula One.
Well, there you are, Romain. A little message from Mike. Hopefully that's got you excited about the racing this afternoon.
It has very much, and I know I'm going to go back practicing and racing hard.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, and we look forward to see how your expertise in the virtual world develops over the course of this season. Romain Grosjean, thank you very much and good luck today. World EX is a brand new racing series, so let's take a look at how our drivers get from qualifying to the final.
World EX has a unique format with a winner-takes-it-all approach. 10 events are scheduled for Season 1. Each EX Prix has 6 levels and a total of 18 short rallycross-inspired races. Level 1 is the qualifying. All 22 drivers go head-to-head in 11 races over just 1 lap. The winners of each qualifying race proceed to Level 3, the quarterfinals. The second level is the last chance for all the drivers that were defeated in Level 1. Only the winner will proceed to Level 3. Level 3 sees 6 cars per group competing in 2 races run over 2 laps. The pro racing drivers will race in quarter-final 1, while the esports racers and the winner from Level 2 make up quarter-final 2. The top 4 drivers in each group move up to Level 4, the semi-finals. 2 races sees the 2 groups of 4 drivers racing over 3 laps. The top 3 drivers from each group progress to Level 5, the final. The 6 drivers compete in 1 race over 4 laps that sees the top 2 finishers moving on to Level 6, the super final. 1 race, head-to-head, 1 winner. The final two drivers compete over one lap to determine the overall winner and runner-up of the event. The winner of each EX Prix qualifies for a final shootout, which will decide the world champion on the famous Nürburgring Nordschleife in November. Who will get the ticket for the Champions Shootout today?
Well, here are the 0 facts on our host country, the United Kingdom, home to the famous Tower of London. Now, the country is, of course, made up of England, Scotland, Wales and Northern Ireland, and the capital of London. It has a population of 68 million people, and the economy is the 5th largest according to its GDP worldwide. Now, this year, Scotland will host the 26th UN Climate Change Conference in Glasgow in November, and the UK aims to reduce CO2 emissions by 68% by 2030 and become CO2 neutral by 2050. They plan to spend 13 billion euros in green projects by 2030. And from 2030, of course, they are banning the sale of new combustion engine cars. Now, there are 9,000 double-decker buses on London roads, but if all the buses were electrified, this would actually provide over 150,000 homes with electricity. The UK is also committed to autonomous driving. A lot of incidents are clearly caused by human error, but by 2029, for every 10,000 human errors, an automated vehicle will commit just one. That is a very impressive figure. Now, earlier on, Mike Rockenfeller, our racing expert and co-founder of World EX, drove around the track. So let's see what our drivers will be facing today.
We are in Silverstone, first round of World EX. I can't wait to see the guys race. I think it's a great track to start our championship. You know, it's a British home of motorsport, and yeah, it's such a unique track. You know, a lot of overtaking possibilities. So I'm sure we will see great action. I think it's a lot of fun to drive around this track. You know, it's very fast, and I think the best to show you is if we go on board on the EX0 and we just do a lap together. Here we go, start, finish. Corner 1, really fast, it's called Abbey. Super easy to overshoot. Now the left-hander is almost flat. Now braking, very tight right-hand corner. The four-wheel drive is really nice on the exit, and here again you have to stop the car and accelerate as early as you can. This one is almost flat, and now you just, you know, carry all the speed you can. Very late braking here for the left-hander. Tried to hit the curb on the inside, I missed it a bit, and now this one is called Luffield corner. Very long corner. You know, easy to accelerate too early because it's tightening up again on the end. And here we go on another nice straight. Now this one is nice, it's called Cops. Very fast as well, take all the momentum, and now we come to the most famous part. It's called Maggots. This is the first one, Beckets. And here you go to the left-hander, and this one I believe it's called Chapel. Very cool section, very fluid, and now you go on Hangar Straight. I think here we will see some defending and some overtaking possibilities. And Stowe corner is also very cool, very fast. You feel the downforce, you feel all the G-force in the car. And here the last section, very slow again, easy to lock up. Right-hander, left-hander hit the curb and accelerate and use all the 1,000 horsepower we have, and we are back on start finish. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope we see a good show tonight.
Now let's take a look at the weather conditions that our drivers are going to be facing at the Silverstone circuit. It is partially cloudy, however, it's a nice balmy 26.3 degrees. Rather unusual for Silverstone. The wind is up at 17.8 kilometers per hour and humidity sitting at 34.2%. So all in all, I would say that is perfect weather conditions for a race at Silverstone. And now let's take a look at race control and the people that keep those drivers in line. Race director Manuel Wendell is supported by Jimmy Allison and Ruben Carrera Alves from Studio 397. Now it's almost time to get racing, but before we head to the first grid of the season, here's a reminder of how qualifying works of World EX.
This is level 1, the qualifying. All 22 drivers go head-to-head in 11 races over just 1 lap. The fans have decided on social media which driver will start from pole position. However, both cars will be placed on the grid directly next to each other to give both similar chances to win the sprint to turn 1. A jump start will result in a time penalty. A driver causing his rival to spin or go off track will be urged to swap positions by race control. The winners of each race proceed to level 3. All defeated drivers will get a last chance in level 2. And the first RCCO World EX Championship qualifying race is go! Antonio Félix da Costa up against Lasse Sorensen then. The battle between the teams TK9 eSpeed and NRE Sports. And a blistering start from Antonio Félix da Costa then, being chased hard by Lasse Sorensen though. So Antonio Félix da Costa, of course, current Formula E champion, knows his way around this Silverstone circuit. 5.89 kilometers, 18 turns, 9 of them right-handers, 9 of them are left-handers. And wherever Antonio Félix da Costa is putting the car at the moment, he is under threat from Sorensen. These fantastic EX0 cars, 1,000 HP at the driver's disposal. And this first qualifying race is proving to be a brilliant one as we enter now the National Pit Straight, heading up towards Cops, turn number 9 on this Silverstone circuit. Where can Sorensen have a go on Antonio Félix da Costa as they head into the sequence now, which is one of the famed here at Silverstone maggots through turn 10, 11, 12 and 13, which of course also includes Beckett's, before turning out of turn 14, the left-hander, which is Chapel, and onto the hangar straight. Sorensen then trying to get the draft off the back of Antonio Félix da Costa. It's a long way around the outside. But he had a go. He was prepared to have a go and dives to the inside and goes through. A brilliant move from Lasse Sorensen for TK9 eSpeed. Just 2 more turns to do. The checkered flag awaits, and the first qualifying race is won by Lasse Sorensen.
Good race, man.
It certainly was, and this was the move in replay. Sold a dummy to the outside, dive to the inside of Antonio Félix da Costa. Job done, overtake completed. Hold on to your hats. Here comes Q2, the esports drivers, Risto Capet from RHG Esports and Martin Stefanko for Williams Esports. It's Q2 underway, the cars side by side. Oh, and there's contact between the two of them. Brilliant job of holding on to those cars as they remain absolutely side by side. No centimetre given or taken in this critical Q battle that's going on between these two esports stars. The cars are being unleashed on the Silverstone circuit, and the entertainment and side-by-side race action from these two drivers is awesome. Williams esports driver Martin Stefanko with his nose ahead and leads the race as they head around to turn number 8. Woodcote turn onto the National Pit Straight into Cops now. Where can Risto Capet find an opportunity to go by the currently leading Martin Stefanko car? Well, he's certainly not close enough to be able to have a go through the sequence of Maggots and Beckett's, but as they exit Chapel and down onto the hangar straight, they really stretch their legs, but Martin Stefanko looks like he has got this absolutely sewn up. Bear in mind, these cars have got a top speed capability with the lowest drag configuration of 384 kilometers per hour. Well, Martin Stefanko and Risto Capet have harnessed the power, but Martin Stefanko is the one that has had the pace advantage. Well done.
Yeah, literally, like, the race is so short, it doesn't really matter what pace you have. It's
anything can happen.
Well, it certainly did. This unintentional nerf from Risto Capit could have completely unsettled Martin Stefanko, but actually he was resolute and steadfast and went on to win the race. From Silverstone, here comes Q3. On the inside pole position, Gabi Chavez. On the outside, Alessio Picariello does not get a good start for Absolute Racing. So the Patrick Long Esports Pro Racer leading this Q3 race. And we can see from on board as well, running really wide there, Picariello. But this is far from over yet. 5.89 kilometers of tarmac. And therefore there will be plenty of opportunity for Alessio to get on terms with the Gabi Chavez car, which I guess has got 5 or 6 car lengths. Now, I absolutely love the livery. Some of the livery designs in the World EX Championship are extraordinary. And this is where we used to start the races, of course, the old National Pit Straight, long before the wing complex was built. And Patrick Long Esports and Gabi Chavez doing a brilliant job here over the slight crest and into Maggots. From Maggots into Beckett's. Then, of course, awaiting these two drivers in the World EX Championship, the long Hanger Straight. And this is where we pick the cars up now as they exit turn number 14, the Chapel turn, and run down the Hanger Straight. Alessio's just not able to get on terms here with Gabi. There are but 4 more turns to do before the end of this one-lap qualifying race. The wing complex already in shot. Gabi Chavez has got this absolutely sewn up. Just one turn. Club turn, turn 18. Checkered flag awaits, and victory goes to Gabi Chavez. And this is where the race was won, to be honest with you. A brilliant start from Gabi Chavez. And from that moment on, Picariello was on the back foot. Here comes Esports. Q4 featuring Liam De Vol and Mickey Hoyer on the inside line, but Liam De Vol with a blistering start. So Mickey Hoyer fighting back here. They are side by side. Oh, a little touch, a little nerf between the two of them. No harm done as we continue. And now, whoa, quite a lot of curb taken there by Liam De Vol. But it has paid off because he is ahead of Mickey Hoyer. Just for the moment, because I have a feeling that this is not done yet. Liam De Vol tries to sell a dummy around the outside. Now we'll dive to the inside. This.
So you can do that.
Oh, yeah, you can. We're loving it. This is an extraordinary race. Just one lap is all these drivers have. And the way that they are handling these EX0 cars is truly spellbinding. It's brilliant. So, Liam De Vol then for Patrick Long Esports as they head through the Maggots and Beckett's turns. Oh, and Mickey Hoyer carrying a lot of speed there, right on the back now of Liam De Vol. This isn't all over yet. So let's pick the cars up now. And this is potentially the best opportunity, perhaps, for Mickey Hoyer just to get the pace that he needs to really throw an overtake potential at Liam De Vol. Although Liam De Vol now adds just another couple of tenths of margin to his current lead, and he's got only one more turn to do before he wins the race. Liam De Vol race winner, but there were so many replays we could show you of the fight between the two of them. Credit to Mickey Hoyer and the race winner, Liam De Vol. And remember, rubbing is racing.
Well, what a brilliant start to qualifying, and there is plenty more action to come. But first, let's find out more about our wildcard drivers who have made it onto the grid today.
10 permanent teams and 20 permanent drivers will be competing in World EX. 9 teams have already been confirmed, while RCCO is still looking into the best option for team number 10.
We are thinking about a handicap team or a female team or a team with a diverse background. There are a lot of interesting options for us, But right now we are fully concentrated to round 1 of World DX to have a nice first racing of the Climate broadcast show. And then we will see which options we have for team number 10.
Each team also had to nominate reserve drivers in case of clashes with other commitments. But in each round of World EX, there will also be 2 wildcard drivers competing with the permanent drivers. For round 1, a hot lap qualifying had been set up by Studio 397 on R-Factor 2. The fastest 2 drivers earned an invitation to be on the grid today. The quickest lap time at a blistering pace was set by Jurnej Simoncic from Slovenia, a professional esports racer for Danish outfit Burst Esport, who finished second in last year's Le Mans Virtual with Bicolis. He was 3/10 clear of David Richardson from Germany, who was involved in the development of the EX0 on behalf of Studio 397. They are definitely here today to challenge the World EX establishment, and if one of them wins today, he would even be qualified for the grand finale on the Nürburgring Nordschleife in November. Q5 wildcard entries. Let's go, Jurnej Simoncic and Devin Browner then, as they head in towards turn number 1. On board with Devin Browner, Simoncic ahead of him for the moment, but here comes Browner on the outside. There's contact between the 2 of them and Browner loses out big time. Simoncic is leading this Q5 race.
I feel bad because last week you made my PC ready to race and now I have to beat you.
Additional motivation, I would say. No need for apology, but good that there is such healthy respect between all our competitors in this, the very first round of the World EX Championship, racing for the climate. And racing for the win is Jurnej Simoncic, who, as he enters the national pit straight, has certainly got 5 or 6 car lengths over Devin Browner, and it's far from over yet. Up next then, turn number 10, Maggots, and then into turn 11, 12 and 13 through Beckett's and Chapel to come. Love this sequence of turns here at Silverstone. It's one of the elements of this track that makes it so revered by every single driver. Flat out section now along the hangar straight. And Browner is closing, but not at the speed necessary to cause any problems, I would suggest, for Jurnej Simoncic, who, barring any errors, should have this sewn up. We will see. Nothing is guaranteed, of course, until the checkered flag flies. But Jurnej Simoncic heads for home and wins the Q5 wildcard race.
There's still another chance for me, I suppose.
Indeed, Devin. And this, in replay, probably the decisive moment of that Q5 race between Jurnej Simoncic and Devin Browner. Fast and furious, here comes Q6. Pro drivers Alain Valente and Dries Vanthoor. And Dries Vanthoor very much getting the jump on Alain right at the start. It's the Nianco esports team for Alain and the esports team WRT for this man, Dries Vanthoor, who we ride on board with now. Oh, quite a bit of understeer there in his quest to get on terms with Dries Vanthoor. The performance of these EX0 cars is simply breathtaking. 0 to 100 kilometers per hour can be achieved in just 2.3 seconds, and 0 to 200 kilometers per hour, just 4.6 seconds. Of course, it means you've got to tame the beast. And doing a very good job of doing that currently is Dries Vanthoor and, of course, his team, who have done a good job. The esports team WRT, the Belgian team, run by Vincent Vos, versus Alain Valente for the Nianco esports team. Swiss-based team, Nianco standing for Nico and Co. For Nico Muller. Runner-up in the DTM Championship last year and confirmed as a competitor in that championship, as well as this, the World EX Championship. As we continue racing for the climate here at Silverstone, we're on the hangar straight now. Having gone through Chapel and Beckett's and Maggots, here's the Stowe corner then for Dries Vanthoor, which he handles with aplomb. It looks great, the car sounds great, looks good, and he's driving it to absolute perfection. Just one corner to do, and then it will be a win in the book for the WRT esports team, and Dries Vanthoor. It's qualifying 7. It's Alan Terzic and Mikael Niemas. Mikael Niemas, very experienced esports racer. So too Alan Terzic, driving for the BS Plus competition. And for Mikael Niemas in our esports. And we're on board with Mikael Niemas now with his familiar entry number of number 19 as he chases down Alan Terzic, of whom I will say nothing but nice things, as he's quite a handy boxer, as well as being a very handy esports racer, having contested since 2009. And at the moment he's showing Mikael Niemas a clean pair of heels around the Silverstone circuit, although Mikael Niemas is now beginning to get a little bit closer to him. Let's go on board with Mikael Niemas then, as through Woodcote he comes, chasing down that car of Alan Terzic. Terzic then using just enough curb on the in and the out of that turn, and has it completely under control, and the pace is exceptional, which means that Mikael is almost hoping for a momentary lapse of concentration or a slight mistake from Alan Terzic, but at the moment it doesn't look like he's going to be gifted that opportunity. 5, maybe 6 car lengths between the two of them, and Alan Terzic in a beautiful, beautiful livery. The BS Plus competition esports team, and the design of that car and the graphics are simply superb. Just a couple of corners to do, and Alan Terzic will win and go through. Mikael Niemas, he did a good job in that Q race, didn't he?
Yeah, you did very well. Congrats.
And let's be upstanding for Frank Biela.
I'm nervous.
Nervous because this is a big battle between Beitske Visa and Frank Biela, and Beitske Visa at the start of the race gets the measure of Frank and leads this one-lap qualifying race. Beitske, who in the inaugural W Series single-seater championship finished the championship P2 and has lots and lots of racing experience for such a young age. And at the other end of the age spectrum is Frank Biela. He won't thank me for that. However, to go through the list of Frank Biela's racing achievements, we'd be here pretty much all day. We continue with this fight, which is Q8 Pro Drivers, BS Plus competition for Beitske Visa, and Biela Racing Team Euronics. Frank Biela head-to-head in this qualifying race. And he hasn't given up on this yet as he gets closer and closer to Beitske Visa. Beitske knows jolly well that Frank Biela will not give up until the final centimetre of tarmac has been driven across. He gets much, much closer there, runs across the curbs. And now onto the Hangar Straight. And at the end of this straight, there are just 4 more turns to do. Where is Frank Biela going to pounce? Because pounce he will. He will not be happy until he's had a go at getting past Beitske Visa. He has a look at the inside going into Vale and loses the back end of the car.
Last try, didn't work.
But fair play to you, Frank, you had a go. Beitske Visa then unchallenged, crosses the timing line and goes through. 2 heavyweight esports racers now. As Andreas Jochumsen from Denmark for TK9 eSpeed and Luca Kita for the Biela Racing Team Euronics go head-to-head in this esports Q9. So Jochumsen, and there is Luca Kita. So Keaton now to the outside of Jochumsen. Jochumsen sticking his elbows out, making the car very wide. And denying Kita the opportunity of coming through. Kita runs out onto the Astro, loses the car, and is across the grass, and makes contact with the barriers. And that fair blows his challenge chances.
You just clipped the grass, or?
Yeah, it was a little bit too wide, and then the grass
no control about the wheel.
No, once you're on the grass, you are nothing but a passenger. However, good presence of mind gets it pointing in the right direction again, and assuming Andreas Jochimsen makes no errors whatsoever for the TK9 E-Speed esports team, he should slam dunk this. It should be his, and you can see that we haven't even got, unfortunately, Luca Kita in the shot. He's so far behind, so now on his own and using this pretty much as a test session. Now can Andreas Jochimsen, such as his advantage, hang a straight? Will we just get to see the Luca Kita car coming through Chapel Turn? No, we don't. Before turning into Stowe is Andreas Jochimsen, who has now but a couple of turns to do before he will secure victory in this Q9 race for our esports drivers. He rounds the final turn and the checkered flag awaits him as we find out now who is our first RCCO World EX Team of the Month.
French outfit RAG Esports was founded by Romain Grosjean, and it was the first team to commit to the RCCO World EX Championship. Let's take a closer look at the first World EX Team of the Month.
When Mike Rockenfeller started searching popular real-world drivers for the World EX project, he started to talk to his then DTM teammate, Loic Duval. The Le Mans winner recommended Romain Grosjean, a Frenchman like Duval, and also living at Lake Geneva in Switzerland.
Romain was also one of the first, he was the first driver actually to join World EX. To work with him, it's a lot of fun. You know, he even helped in the latest stage of our development for the car. He was, giving his input, so that was good and helpful. And I think it just made the car even better. He's really a sports guy. He loves racing. He has a lot of passion for it. We are happy to have him on board in the World EX.
So when the World EX opportunity arose, I thought that RAG Esports had to be part of it. First of all, because it's built very professionally, it's brand new, it's the most powerful electric car out there, and it's got some strong broadcast and sponsors and teams in there. And racing for the climate. That was very important and an easy decision to take.
Last year, he created RAG Esports, working together with longtime friends and business partners like Stefan Koch, Martin Reis and Olivia Panis.
It's been a great journey. I'm discovering esports. I was always keeping an eye on it, and I really want to see that we can create bridge between reality and virtual, and that's what we're trying to do.
In its first season, RAG Esports has become one of the most professional and successful teams in esports racing. The team won prestigious races and titles like the GT Pro Series. The EX0 of RAG Esports has probably more logos of prestigious brands than any other car on the grid. As for most brands today, they are looking for sustainable projects. World EX is a perfect fit, and one of the team's partners even decided to rebrand the car from Predator to Acer for Humanity.
Good luck, mate.
You too, mate.
Ooh, the adrenaline is pumping.
Oh, yeah.
And such lovely camaraderie between Romain Grosjean and Bruno Senna goes right out of the window now, because each of these two heavyweight drivers will be utterly determined to win. Romain Grosjean then on the inside of Bruno Senna, and Bruno Senna now picks up the lead from the Predator. Romain Grosjean, who we run on board with now for RAG Esports, chasing down Bruno Senna, who leaves the door open and loses the front end of the car, and that plays into the hands of Romain Grosjean, who goes through. And now Grosjean's rearview mirror is full of the Bruno Senna car. So Bruno perhaps just carrying a little bit too much speed. The front end of the car got a little bit wobbly, and that was all the invitation that Romain Grosjean needed to come through the Predator. As they exit the Copse turn now and head towards the Maggots and Beckett's turns, it's Romain Grosjean leading Bruno Senna. But do not think this race is done yet. As you can see, Bruno will use all the tarmac, the curbs and even bits of grass should it be necessary. He's right in the draft of Romain Grosjean now at the end of the hangar straight. Senna on the inside will try and get underneath Romain Grosjean now, but Grosjean sticks his elbows out and makes the car sufficiently wide to deny him. So Grosjean and Senna get sideways, such is his quest to get after Romain Grosjean as they head towards the checkered flag. What a brilliant race. In replay, that's where it all went wrong for Bruno Senna. And despite valiant efforts to try and get by Romain Grosjean, ultimately he didn't. And here comes Q11. For Nianco Esports, it's Thomas Schmidt. For Esports Team WRT, it's Fabrice Cornelis. And this is like a carbon copy of the Grosjean Senna opening a few turns, as well as the cars are side by side. These esports racers giving it absolutely everything. On board with the number 31 car of Fabrice Cornelis for Esports Team WRT, who currently has the whip hand over the number 28 car of Thomas Schmidt for Nianco Esports. Oh, just a little lock up there, and you can see just how determined Thomas Schmidt is. Brilliant onboard shots that we're able to bring you in this RCCO World EX Championship. We are racing for the climate, and these drivers are racing for the P1 result at the end of this quali shootout because they want to go through. Both are determined. Just running a bit wide there was Fabrice Cornelis, and that allows Thomas Schmidt to get to the inside. Cornelis tries to come back. There's a little contact between the two of them, but they hold onto the cars beautifully. And Fabrice Cornelis is almost pushing Thomas Schmidt now as they enter the hangar straight.
Let's go.
Oh, this is brilliant.
Oh, that's not a good idea.
Oh, but it is, because we love it. Thomas Schmidt, Fabrice Cornelis. Oh, a little swipe there, and oh, well held by Cornelis. No, it's not. He's got a tank slapper on now. How on earth did you control that? Thomas Schmidt will control it across the line, though. He wins, and that, Thomas, was one epic Q race.
Whew. That was good fun.
We have to show you the save of the day so far again. And now we know the drivers that will be going through to the last chance. They are Devin Browner, Michi Hoyer, Bruno Senna, Michael Niemas, Fabrice Cornelis, Frank Biela, Antonio Félix da Costa, Risto Capet, Alessio Picariello, Alain Valente and Luca Kita.
Well, that wraps up the qualifying rounds for the first ever RCCO World EX Championship race. But it's not over for the drivers who haven't made it quite yet. They still have one more chance to get to the quarterfinals in the last chance race.
Level 2, the last chance. All drivers defeated in Level 1 will get a final chance in a 2-lap sprint to proceed to Level 3. The fastest driver from Level 1 starts on pole. The winner takes it all, as only the first placed driver will make the cut. For all others, this EX Prix will come to an end after this race. World EX is tough and sometimes cruel. This is the last chance. And all the cars get away. Risto Capet then having to take avoiding action, and by so doing ends up in the barriers. He was on the grass spinning around and in the barriers. We're on board now with Frank Biela. So we stay on board with Frank Biela battling hard with WRT. Michi Hoyer it is that's leading currently. It's Devin Brown and Michi Hoyer who were on the first row of the grid. P1, Michi Hoyer. P2, Devin Brown. Then it's Michael Niemas. Fabrice Cornelis is P4. Then we find Bruno Senna P5. Bruno Senna gets past Fabrice Cornelis, and now Cornelis gets back past Bruno, and Bruno goes back again. What a battle going on for P4 and P5. Michi Hoyer trying to stretch his legs away from Devin Brown. But thus far, Devin is still within a shouting chance, potentially. Bear in mind, these drivers have got 2 laps in these EX0 cars then in this last chance to qualify and to go through. Michi Hoyer, though, has got it all seemingly under control in the top 2, breaking away a bit from Mikael Niemas, who's P3, Bruno Senna P4. Then it's Fabrice Cornelis, Luca Kita, Frank Biela, Alain Valente, and Alessio Picariello, who's currently running in P9. So on board with the number 16 car of Bruno Senna. And Bruno Senna and Fabrice Cornelis having a real ding-dong battle, which is thoroughly enjoyable for us. Which way is this going to go? There is the number 31 car of Fabrice Cornelis, just giving a helping hand there to Bruno Senna, who wants to get up the road to Mikael Niemas, of course, who's currently running in P3. May I make mention of the fact that Antonio Félix da Costa is not on the grid for this last chance, because he had last chance literally to dive for a flight for WEC testing. So Michi Hoyer then leading Devin Brown at the moment. Devin Brown, one of our wildcard entries, as I mentioned, and Michi Hoyer for Absolute Racing. But Devin Brown is getting closer here. We are on the final lap of this last chance race. We round the Woodcut turn, national pit straight now. And Browner doing everything that he possibly can to get on terms with Michi Hoyer here. And they head up a slight crest now out of Copse into Maggots. This is a great shot. You see the cars just coming over the crest. It's fantastic. And the racing itself has been absolutely brilliant. And we've had to focus on this battle because Devin Browner is getting much, much closer now to Michi Hoyer along the Hanger Straight. And is going to send one up the inside. There's contact between the 2 of them. And he certainly does muscle his way by. And with but a few turns to do, all he needs to do is stick his elbows out, because the checkered flag will await. Devin Browner crosses the line, P1, Michi Hoyer, P2. Mind you, I reckon the race director may take another look at this replay of that move that put Devin Browner into P1.
Well, it was Devin Browner who crossed the line first, but that win has been overturned. The place has been given back to Michi Hoyer. Devin, just talk us through that move between you and Michi.
Well, I saw a gap and I've just put the car there, I suppose. It's incredibly difficult getting past here because you only have like 2 chances throughout the whole race. So that was my chance. I tried to take it. Unfortunately, as I just heard, that was not counted. I suppose I tried. You
put your cards on the table, Devin. You went for it. You saw a gap, but unfortunately it hasn't worked in your favour this time. Other than that, did you enjoy being part of the World EX Championship today?
Well, it was great fun. The car is probably one of the most enjoyable cars I've driven in a while. It's super difficult to be fast with it because, well, it's just ridiculously powerful, I suppose. I hope I get a chance to return at some point and show what I've got.
Absolutely. Well, I'm glad to hear that you enjoy driving the car. And thank you again for participating.
Thank you.
Thanks very much, Devin. With technology and trends constantly evolving, let's take a look at what's in store for us in the not too distant future.
World EX is the World Championship for electric prototypes. And it looks like founders Mike Rockenfeller and Thomas Boat have made a good call when they launched the project 1 year ago. More and more car brands are announcing they are going fully electric in the future. The first one, and a surprise to many, was General Motors. The giant from Detroit is on its way to an all-electric future with a commitment to 30 new global electric vehicles by 2025. And they've even changed their logo for this. Jaguar followed suit, announcing its master plan to only build electric cars by the end of the decade. And just 2 days later, Ford said it's planning to do the same in Europe. Also, Volvo Cars is only going to sell electric vehicles by 2030, the Swedish firm confirmed. We guess these will not be the last brands to go fully electric. Tesla fans are waiting for a new battery Elon Musk has announced for the new Model S Plaid, which is going to be built in Germany. The structural battery pack could set a new benchmark for electrical cars, with Tesla claiming a 10% mass reduction and a 14% range increase opportunity. This would mean Tesla, yet again, reaches a new level. A couple of interesting new electric cars have been launched recently, but pick of the month for sports fans is definitely the Audi e-tron Gran Turismo. Based on the Porsche Taycan, the brand with the 4 rings has done an impressive job. We guess Nicki can't wait to test drive this new Gran Turismo. And did you notice that Audi was able to attract Nico Rosberg, former Mercedes Formula 1 world champion, for the launch of the e-tron GT, together with Formula E ace Lucas de Grassi. We definitely liked their drag race. This is level 3. 2 races run over 2 laps. The winning pro racing drivers from level 1 will compete in race 1. The winning esports racers from level 1 in race 2. They are joined by the best wildcard driver and the winner of the last chance. This time, you shouldn't be last or second last, because only the top 4 drivers in each race move up to level 4. Here comes quarter-final 1. On row 1, Juraj Simoncic and Romain Grosjean. Row 2 features Gabi Chavez and Dries Van Tor. And then on row 3, it's Beitski Visser and Lasse Sorensen. A great start from Simoncic, and a great start too from Dries Van Tor, who puts himself into P3 and almost into P2. He almost got the better of Romain Grosjean. We're on board the Lasse Sorensen TK9 E-Speed car, fighting with Gabi Chavez and Beitski Visser. Well, they're all grouped together, the Patrick Long car of Gabi Chavez. Very, very striking livery. But doing a good job at the front of the field is Simoncic, and both he and Romain Grosjean just getting away now from the hard charging at the start. Dries Van Tor. Dries Van Tor now having to defend. So this the quarter-final then, 6 cars, it's 2 laps. Top 4 drivers in each of these quarter-finals progress to level 4. And let's hear from our P1 and P2 drivers.
Good corner, Yanni.
Thank you.
Nice compliments there from Romain Grosjean. Juraj Simoncic doing a brilliant job in leading this race. Romain Grosjean is P2. Now, guys, if it's at all possible, could we have some more words from you, please?
Well, I believe you have done more laps with this car than myself in the past months.
I have done about 15 laps yesterday, and that's it. It's my first time on Factor 2 as well.
Ah, okay.
I'm a non-racing guy.
There you go. Secrets coming out now. Thank you, gentlemen, very much. As we continue then with this quarter-final, on board with Lasse Sorensen for the TK9 E-Speed team, starting his second and final lap now in this quarter-final. Great shot on board. And Dries Van Tor coming under just a little bit of pressure now. So this is the fight that's going on for P3 at the moment. Lasse Sorensen is certainly beginning to worry Dries Van Tor just a little bit. Everything under control at the front, it would appear, for the moment, from Juraj Simoncic. Not under pressure from Romain Grosjean, but now as we ride on board with Dries Van Tor, we can see just how keen the number 7 car of Lasse Sorensen is to try and just provoke a small error, a small lapse in concentration from Dries Van Tor, so that he could go by and pick up that P3 place. But at the moment, nothing doing, and Dries Van Tor is not renowned for lapses in concentration and making mistakes. So final part of the lap to be done in this first of the quarterfinals. It's round 1 of the RCCO World EX Championship from Silverstone, racing for the climate, and we are in the first of the quarterfinals. And now Grosjean is under pressure. So the P2 place that Romain Grosjean had is under pressure now as a dive to the inside from Dries Van Tor. Grosjean, though, sticks his elbows out and prevents Dries van Tor from coming through at that point. Just a few turns to do.
Oh. Sorry, mate.
How very polite of you.
No.
Oh, Romain! Big save. And thankfully, finishes in that P4 position, so he will go through. In this quarter-final, the top 4 drivers in each of the races progress to level 4. Wow, in replay, just some of the action there as Romain Grosjean got caught out but held on to it beautifully. On the grid then for quarter-final 2, Alan Terzic and Martin Stefanko on row 1. Then we find Thomas Schmidt and Liam de Waal, and they are ahead of Andreas Jochimsen and Mickey Hoyer. Whoa, Andreas Jochimsen trying to anticipate the start and being really rather too previous in terms of the anticipation. So it's as we were then in terms of the pole sitter Alan Terzic. And on board now with the number 99 car of Mickey Hoyer, who is even targeting the number 29 car of Liam de Waal. So Liam de Waal currently running in P3. So the cars begin to settle down now, and stretching his legs at the front is Alan Terzic then for BS Plus competition. And we're looking for the fight that's going on for P4, 5 and 6 here. Now bear in mind, it's absolutely critical to be into the top 4 in these quarterfinals. The top 4 drivers in each race progress to level 4. The semi-finals. This is Thomas Schmidt, Nianco esports racer. Hugging the curb and doing a good job. Holding on to that car beautifully. These very fast EX0 cars in the RCCO World EX Championship. Our first round from Silverstone. Delighted that you are with us. You can see the fight for the final place is really beginning to hot up now. By final place, of course, you've got to be in the top 4. That is allowing the top 3 just to break away nicely now and build up something of a cushion over those that are fighting behind. And we start the final lap in this quarter-final. The one that is potentially the most vulnerable here is Thomas Schmidt. So Thomas Schmidt then, who is running in that P4 place at the moment under real pressure from Mickey Hoyer, who we're on board with now. He's all over the back of the Thomas Schmidt Nianco car, but cannot get Thomas Schmidt to just lose concentration for a moment, which is what he wants, just to try and force an error. Anywhere will do. He will be through like a viper, ready to strike, but currently nothing doing. Liam de Waal is P3. P2, Martin Stefanko, and P1, Alan Terzic. Driving supremely. So the World EX Championship then, quarter-final 2, which is where we are at, is almost at its conclusion. And still under pressure is Thomas Schmidt, and he's just beginning to run out of opportunities now to go by. Underneath the bridge, on the hanger straight now. Turning into the Stowe turn number 15 on this Silverstone circuit. Alan Terzic then ahead of Martin Stefanko, and you two had a brilliant margin come the checkered flag.
Oh man, we could have stopped for like a coffee break with that gap. Now that I'm looking at it.
Nice race, guys.
Let's take a look at the Level 4 format guide now. Semi-finals. The pro racing drivers in race 1, the esports racers in race 2. Don't be last, because otherwise you will not make it to level 5. This is semi-final 1. featuring on row 1, Jonas Simoncic, and alongside it's Dries Van Tor. Then on row 2, Lasse Sorensen and Romain Grosjean. A hot 3 laps in prospect. As the lights go out, Jonas Simoncic then manages to convert pole position into the race lead pretty comfortably. Romain Grosjean is looking pretty lively from the back of the pack, and he's already fighting. And he's alongside Lasse Sorensen as well. Dries Van Tor then misses his braking point, almost takes Grosjean off the track. That enables Lasse Sorensen to move into that P2 place and chase down Jonas Simoncic. In the meantime, Romain Grosjean and Dries Van Tor are P3 and P4. But there are 3 laps in this semi-final, so there are opportunities still to come, and all 4 of them are pretty close together around this Silverstone circuit for the first time of asking in this semi-final. So on board now, the number 7 car of Lasse Sorensen in P2, chasing down the race leader, Jonas Simoncic. A wild card entry, may I remind you, into round 1 of the World EX Championship here at Silverstone. Our first round. What a season we've got in prospect. I urge you to check out the website. So the TK9 car then in P2, and Dries Van Tor is beginning to reel him in now. And leaving Romain Grosjean away behind. Here comes Dries Van Tor, just taking a look at the inside. Nothing doing on this occasion.
Has the track changed, or is it me that which is absolutely nowhere on that run?
I don't feel much difference.
Okay. Did a lot of understeer.
Okay, so Grosjean suffering from understeer there, and that's why he's running in that P4 position. Romain Grosjean, a superb racer, and is trying to get on terms with Dries Van Tor, but thus far has been unable to do so. Doing a great job out on his own at the front, though, is Jonas Simoncic, who isn't currently troubled. In fact, there's a couple of car lengths between nearly every car at the moment. On board the Dries Van Tor car, we were just momentarily running in that P3 place. Bear in mind, the top 3 drivers from the semi-finals move through into the final. So Grosjean desperately wants to try and get past this WRT car, but at the moment is being denied and isn't even close enough to try and put a move on. As he said, he's suffering from a bit of understeer, and the car looks very slidey, to be honest. Some dust being kicked up there from Dries Van Tor, almost as an insult into the windscreen of Romain Grosjean. So onto the hangar straight for the second time of asking in this 3-lap semi-final, the first of 2 semi-finals to come, with Jonas Simoncic ahead of Dries Van Tor, Lasse Sorensen and Romain Grosjean. That's the way they look at the moment. Top 3 drivers going through into that final. And then, of course, we've got a fantastic super final to come, a 1-lap shootout. But before that, we have got the big final as well. Whoa! Big sideways moment there for Lasse Sorensen, but he held on to the car. And Lasse Sorensen now is really, he's got the hurry up from somewhere and is really troubling Jonas Simoncic. So we could have a fight on for the lead of this. And these 2 breaking away from Van Tor and from Grosjean. So barely a car length between P1 and P2. Hugging the curbs, and now I would say Simoncic is really feeling the pressure. Tracking, getting ever closer. So running slightly uphill now, over the crest, before running into turn 10 and 11, Maggots. Taken so well in these beautiful EX0 cars. Now, is it going to be at the end of Hangar Straight where Lasse Sorensen is going to have a go into this turn, into the Stowe turn. He wasn't close enough, truthfully. Didn't see that coming, and it didn't. So, through the final sequence of turns, which rounds out another lap as Lasse Sorensen takes a look at the outside, then the inside.
Uh-oh.
How is this going to end? Wow.
Thank you for the love tap.
Yeah, it was a little bit too hard love tap there, but
Good job, boys.
It's okay. Thank you.
good race anyway.
Good race, you're not kidding me. It was so compelling I didn't even realise it was the last lap, and that really is the truth. Let's take a replay of some of the action shots in semi-final 1. There was plenty of them as we prepare for semi-final 2, and here's the grid. On row 1, Alan Terzic. And on row 2, Martin Stefanko. And on the second row, we find Liam de Waal and Thomas Schmidt. We are ready. Three laps are go for semi-final 2. Where will the honours go? So on board with the number 28 car of Thomas Schmidt from Nianco Esports, who's currently running P4, trying to get alongside Liam. And didn't quite manage it. Liam de Waal for Patrick Long Esports doing a good job in defending that position. Alan Terzic then for BS Plus competition. Martin Stefanko for Williams Esports. And then the battle behind between Liam de Waal and Thomas Schmidt. So all the cars gapped accordingly at the moment as they head in towards the Copse turn now. Rising slightly uphill, then the left-hander. Maggots turn 10, then it's turn 11. Turn 12 and turn 13 through Backets. And turn 14 brings you onto the hanger straight. That is the Chapel turn, and this is where these phenomenal EX0 cars really do stretch their legs. So 3 laps in this semi-final. On board, looking back then at P2, P3 and P4 places. Liam de Waal looks like he's beginning to reel in the P2 place. He's in the sort of day-glow yellow and black car running in P3 at the moment. We can see from being on board our race leader. Looking back at the rest of the pack. So they all bunch up just a little bit going through what is effectively the first sequence of turns after the start-finish straight. This Silverstone circuit, 18 really challenging turns. It's a circuit that the drivers absolutely love because it's hugely challenging. Martin Stefanko then, who is running in that P2 place for the Williams Esports team.
So let's battle a bit up in front, please.
If ever there was a hint, please let me get closer. That was it, I think. So Martin Stefanko chasing Alan Terzic. Then it is Liam de Waal in P3. And P4, Thomas Schmidt for Nianco Esports. Dust being kicked up then. And onto the hanger straight once again. Getting closer and closer now. Just a centimetre perfect into that Stowe turn. For quite a slow section, relatively, on the circuit, which is turn 16, 17 and 18, Vale, then turn 17, then turn 18, which of course is the final turn, which is Club. So Liam de Waal then, where once I thought he was beginning to reel in the P1 and P2 drivers, I'm not quite so confident of that now. Because P1 and P2, Terzic and Martin Stefanko appear to have increased their margin between themselves and the P3 driver at the moment. Now that was just a little wayward, to be fair, and plays right into the hands, potentially, of Martin Stefanko. So Martin Stefanko is able to get a bit closer now. Alan Terzic for BS Plus competition. Martin Stefanko, Williams Esports. P3 is with Liam Tafall, the Patrick Long Esports racer. And P4 with Thomas Schmidt for Nianco Esports. I think there could be a challenge for the lead. It's just brewing, in my opinion. So now, try and get the draft off the back of that race-leading car. Into Stowe. Closer, closer, closer. And it is looking like, in the final few turns, a real challenge is going to come. What we don't want is any contact, though, because that would be viewed by the race director. Liam DeVall, P3. And for Nianco Esports, Thomas Schmidt gets it oh so wrong at the back of the pack, but holds it together, going through to the final then. Sorensen, Simoncic and Vantor with Terzic, Stefanko and DeVall.
Thomas Schmidt, it's Nicki Shields here talking to you. Talk us through what happened with that spin.
Yeah, it was quite taut. I knew I hadn't the raw pace to keep with them up, so I hoped that something would happen in the race. But yeah, anyway, I'm quite happy with my first race here, so I'm looking already forward to the next one.
Well, commiserations, Thomas, and we look forward to seeing you in the next race.
Thanks.
We are moments away from the final, but first, let's take a look at what's new in World EX.
DTM and Formula E star Nico Müller has launched his very own team called Nianco Esports. Nianco stands for Nico and Company and will be kind of a Swiss national team with all its drivers coming from Switzerland. Nico Müller won last year's RCCO Race Home Charity Racing Series with the Audi e-tron Vision Gran Turismo and will himself be the team's pro racer. But Nico will miss today's opening round due to DTM testing duties for Audi in Italy.
Wish our two drivers, Alain and Thomas, the best of luck. I'm sure they will really enjoy driving the EX0 in Silverstone, and I hope you will deliver a good show, have fun out there, and I'm looking forward to hopefully be with you guys on the grid next time out.
Newly crowned Asian Le Mans champion Yifei Yi and Tom Dillman will also miss today's opening round due to commitments in the real racing world. Former Formula E competitor Tom Dillman is the pro racer for Williams, who have launched their new Formula One Challenger last week. It was the first public appearance for new CEO Jost Capito, who has an RCCO history competing in a couple of RCCO slot car races in the past. 9 of the 10 World EX events for Season 1 are set. Just the September round is still open. RCCO is talking to Kyalami in South Africa and other potential racetracks.
We would love to add the African continent to our schedule, but Australia or Japan would be also interesting options.
Do you remember Heinz-Harald Frentzen? The runner-up of the 1997 Formula One World Championship with Williams has gone fully electric in his private life since ending his racing career. He's producing his own solar power at home, which even allows him to charge his Teslas. He's following the development of World EX with great interest. Let's move on to Level 5, the final. For the first time today, the pro racing drivers will mix up with the esports racers. It's one race over 4 laps. The top 2 drivers will proceed to the super final.
Well, guys, congratulations. You are the first 6 drivers who are going to be going through into our first final in the World EX Championship. Well done. Let's have a quick chat to Alan Terzic, because you're going to be starting from pole position. Alan, we've got 6 drivers from 6 different teams. This is going to be a competitive race.
Yeah, it's going to be competitive, but pole position has served me well so far, so let's hope to continue.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, good luck for the race ahead. Let's also have a quick word with our wildcard driver from today, Jernej Simoncek. Jernej, this is a pretty amazing moment, really. You came in today not knowing where you're going to end up, and now you're going into the final.
Yeah, it's fantastic for myself and for Burst Esport to be here at this stage. We hoped we could be here for the whole season. Let's hope maybe that actually happens in the future. But for now, I'm here for one race. I hope to do my best, and let's see what happens.
Absolutely. Well, Jernej, congratulations and good luck to all of the 6 drivers who are going through to the final.
For the first final of the RCCO World EX Championship, Alan Terzic and Martin Stefanko on row 1. Liam de Waal and Lasse Sorensen on row 2. On row 3, it's Jernej Simoncek and Dries Vanthoor. Racing for the climate. And in this final, the top 2 will go through to the super final. Into turn 1. 4 laps of the Silverstone circuit, and already big battles going on. Over the P3 places, Liam de Waal tries to move up the order. There's almost contact between 2 of them. And as we pick them up, we're on board with Liam de Waal now, who is in the lead with Alan Terzic, fighting with him for the lead. Lasse Sorensen is also in the mix as well. Liam on the outside, Terzic on the inside. Terzic goes through to take up the lead. Liam de Waal relegated to P2. Oh, a little touch from Lasse Sorensen on the back of Liam de Waal. So this should mean that Alan Terzic can breathe a sigh of relief just for a moment and try and escape up the road. Lasse Sorensen and Liam de Waal are still fighting. De Waal is wide. Sorensen goes through to pick up P2. That's critical because it is the top 2 that will go through to the super final shootout. So Alan Terzic, Lasse Sorensen. Then it is Simoncek. Then it is de Waal, Dries Vanthoor and Martin Stefanko. Wow, what an opening lap this is, and it's not all done yet. So the more Terzic tries just to escape up the road, he's being denied that opportunity. A 3-way fight going on here for P4. Trying to thread that needle through. Dries Vanthoor there in the WRT car, and Liam de Waal is almost at the back of the pack now, and just a lap ago he was leading. We're on lap 2 of 4, and a dive to the inside now as Lasse Sorensen in the number 7 car for TK9 Speed goes through into the lead. We always knew that the final would be fraught, and it is. It's delivering great action for us. Lasse Sorensen is leading. A brilliant high shot there as Dries Vanthoor hasn't given up on this either. He's running in that P4 position at the moment. Alan Terzic is ahead of him. Jernej Simoncek in P2, but Lasse Sorensen is leading the way. However, now coming under pressure, Jernej Simoncek is really pushing Lasse Sorensen for the lead of this race. We're on board with Simoncek, really fighting with the steering controls through those turns. Lasse Sorensen is smooth, neat and tidy. Holds on to it really well. But they are all so close together. There's going to be a change at the back as Martin Stefanko goes ahead of Liam de Waal. Lasse Sorensen through the Stowe turn holds on to this lead over Jernej Simoncek. Oh, a big sideways moment there for Simoncek as he tried to scrub the speed off. As they cross the timing line and start lap 3 of 4. Lasse Sorensen continues to lead this final in the RCCO World EX Championship. And Sorensen, to be fair, is not putting a wheel out of place. He's driving this really masterfully.
Lasse is flying today.
units.
Lasse is flying, no question. Oh, Simoncic then under braking, getting closer. This is a great onboard shot, looking back at the number 61 car of Junic Simoncic, of course a wild card entry.
I thought the understeer couldn't be worse. I was wrong.
Watch out for the next lap. It gets even worse.
So great conversations going on, and just thrilled to be able to be part of those conversations as the race continues. So at the conclusion of this lap, there will be just one lap left to run. And it is, I remind you, the top 2 drivers that will go through to level 6, the super final. The 1-lap shootout, the 1-lap dash for cash, if you will. Another great onboard shot now. Marker boards on the left-hand side, counting the drivers down into the turn. As Lasse is quick, and Lasse appears to have it all completely under control. Around the final turn, turn 18. And now is going to start the last lap of this, the final, and then the super final to come. So, Sorensen, having done such a good job, has just got one more lap to hold on to this lead. Dries Vanthoor being held by Alan Terzic, and Dries Vanthoor makes contact unintentionally.
Should have left more space.
Let's get back to the front, because Simoncic now has found something from somewhere and is beginning to push Sorensen over the final few turns. Sorensen is going to have to try and hold on to this. We are on board with Simoncic. So out of turn 8 of the 16, half the lap is done. Where can Simoncic try and provoke an error from Lasse Sorensen? Here into Maggots. Beckett. Turn 13 now. And turn 14 will lead us on to the Hangar Straight as we come through the chapel turn now. Lasse Sorensen, Junic Simoncic. This is what it's all about, because the top 2 will go through to the 1-lap super final. And at the moment it looks like it's going to be these 2, barring some disaster. Lasse Sorensen is going to take it from Junic Simoncic. The checkered flag awaits, the final lap is done, level 5 completed. The final is won by Lasse Sorensen, a great drive. And here we can see in replay just some of the action that went on during that final. And at one point or another, absolutely every single driver was involved, and every single driver was potentially in contention for P1 or P2 at some point during that 4-lap final. However, only 2 were going to make the grade and go through to the super final, and those 2 are Lasse Sorensen and Junic Simoncic.
Well, Lasse Sorensen, congratulations. You have just secured your place in the super final. Congratulations.
Yeah, thank you very much. Yeah, it was a good race. Obviously, it's a fun car to drive. It's really hard and technical, but it's a really fun car to drive, and I really enjoy it. So I'm super happy to be in the first super final here.
Jerne in Simoncic, just behind you, was putting the pressure on.
Yeah, he was really fast, and I really had to go all on the limit. So that was really hard, but it was a fun race and clean race. Maybe not the start was that clean, but beside that, it was really good race. So enjoyable.
Well, congratulations. Good luck for the super final.
Thank you.
Jerne Simoncic, talk us through that race, narrowly missing out on the win.
I don't know what to say. I started the race with no expectations, and suddenly one car went to the left, one car on the right. Suddenly I was P3, then P2, and it was quite a fun experience.
Brilliant. Well, congratulations for making it this far. Thanks very much. Our super final participants are getting ready to get back on track for the final time. But before they do, this is just a quick reminder because you could still be in with a chance of winning this amazing pedelec. It's called a bio-hybrid. It is pedal powered with a combination of active electric motor. Personally, I can't wait to give it a try myself. So let's take a closer look and find out more.
Hi everybody, I'm Jacob, the Director of Marketing and Communication of bio-hybrid. And today I'm very glad to drop you guys some words regarding our new innovative e-bike on 4 wheels and with a roof, the bio-hybrid.
The idea behind it, everyone can make a contribution to protecting the environment by choosing to pedal, and we think that it stands for a contemporary form of zero emissions mobility. Quite eco-friendly, fast and healthy. And that's the best, you don't even need a driving license for that.
So enjoy the race right now and don't forget, everybody is important. Just together we can fight climate warming.
Now remember to keep using the hashtag Racing for the Climate. But in the meantime, let's have a reminder of how the super final works.
It's all or nothing, the super final. The winner of level 5 will start from pole position and his rival directly next to him. This is similar to level 1, but this time there is no second chance.
Our 2 finalists are ready to go, but let's see how they measure up against each other.
And this is it, the super final with Lasse Sorensen and Jurnej Simoncic. Stand by for the green light. We are away and racing. Who will take the overall honours of this, the first round of the World EX Championship? Will it be Lasse Sorensen? Will it be Jurnej Simoncic? Well, at the moment, Lasse Sorensen is showing a clean pair of heels to Jurnej Simoncic, who is sliding the car around the turn, trying to get on terms with Lasse Sorensen. So these two have fought tooth and nail and delivered some scintillating action for us, and that continues in this one-lap shootout, the super final. Lasse Sorensen then for the TK9 E-Speed, a pro driver, and Jurnej Simoncic, a wildcard entry into this round of the World EX Championship. It's about 50% of the lap done, and Lasse Sorensen, I have to say, has looked supremely dominant thus far. However, it isn't done yet, and Simoncic is trying to find a way through and trying to push as hard as he can through Maggots and Beckett's, and we're about to go through the chapel turn and onto the hangar straight. Now, will Simoncic be able to throw one up the inside going into the Stowe turn? He takes a look, certainly. Lasse Sorensen sticks his elbows out a little to try and prevent any advance from Jurnej Simoncic. These two drivers have delivered supreme racing and great entertainment for us. Lasse Sorensen is going to win from Jurnej Simoncic.
Congrats. Good start. Almost had you in turn 3, but you recovered. Nice one.
Well, a very good super final, and many congratulations to Lasse Sorensen, who holds the honour then of taking the first RCCO World EX Championship Racing for the Climate super final.
Well, congratulations to all of our teams and drivers. But in racing, there can only be one winner of the first round of the RCCO World EX Championship. Massive congratulations to our winner, Lasse Sorensen, for the TK9 E-Speed team.
Let's go. Good race, man. Thank you very much. Super excited for being the first winner here. It's a really fun championship. It's totally new compared to what else is running. So I'm really happy to be a part of this new championship here. It's really fun, and I can't wait for the next round here.
Well, once again, congratulations to Lasse Sorensen. But now is the time where we get to see who takes home the gadget of the month. I'm really excited about this. And at the moment, I now have 2 envelopes in my hands. Now, in one, and I don't know which one, I promise you I don't know which one, it says driver, and the other, it says fan. I don't take bribes, Lassie, so I promise you I don't know which one is in which. Now, if I pick driver, you have to actually answer 3 multiple choice questions about sustainability to claim your prize. If I pick a fan, then a fan is going to have to join us after this show on the After Race Talk on Twitch, straight after, and we will reveal who that lucky fan is and have the questions for you. So, without further ado, I will pick. What do you reckon? The one in the left hand or the one in the right hand?
Always right.
Always right, okay. Luckily I know my left from right, just. Ooh. It says fan. So unfortunately, always right has not worked in your favour on this particular occasion. But what it does mean though is that we will be speaking to a fan, as I mentioned at the end of the show, with questions for them. So good luck, and make sure you do join us for that after race show on Twitch. Lasse Sorensen, thank you so much for joining us, and congratulations. Enjoy some celebrations, and we'll see you at the next round.
Thank you very much, guys. Take care.
Well, thank you so much for joining us for the first ever race of the RCCO World EX Championship. We'll see you next time where we'll be racing in Florida, USA, home of the Sebring International Raceway. We'll see you then.